we're going to come in and play one of our new favorite games that we started this season, Panic or Patience, and then we'll get into Contender Pretender later. But for now, Panic or Patience. So what we'll do is, if you didn't join us last month, is we're going to go through and talk about some of the teams at the bottoms of their divisions, see if they should be panicking or continue to have patience late in May. Now, remember, they always say you can't win a division in April or May, but you can certainly lose it.
You can lose.
So I'm beginning to wonder if these teams are getting to the point where they've lost their division or their chance at a playoff spot without being mathematically eliminated yet. So, Brig, are you ready for this?
Oh, I love this game. Go ahead.
Good. All right, here we go. Let's start with the Phillies. The Phillies are an interesting team. They went to the World Series last year, and they brought in Trey Turner. It was like, oh, that's the piece they need, but he's not been good. The Phillies have been worse, 25-28 going into Monday. Their last 10, they're 5-5. At this point, end of May, is it panic or patience for the Phillies?
Patience. I'm saying patience, and I'm saying because of Brother Harper. I want to see what he does at the helm for just a little bit longer, and then we will know. That's
Okay.
if it wasn't for him, if I knew he wasn't coming back or whatever, it's over. Panic.
So, yeah, I'm going to say patience as well, just because we saw them make a late run last year, right? Like, they didn't have a great start last year. Then they fired Girardi. Philly Rob took over, and then they took off, right? They could still flip to the next gear because they have too much talent on that team to not capitalize on a balanced schedule, to not capitalize on playing some really bad teams like the Rockies and come back and storm back. And I know – it's not the Mets on top of the East right now. It's
no,
it's the Braves.
It's the Braves, yeah.
But they could still, and in fact, they're looking up at the Marlins right now, as well.
Right.
So, but my thing though is that, like, how much of what the Marlins are doing is sustainable? How much of what anybody else, like how much of what the Diamondbacks is doing is sustainable? Like, is that last playoff spot, like that last wild card spot, still up for grabs? And could they streak and get it? I think they could. Have a little bit of patience, a little bit longer, maybe through the middle of June, middle of June. I wouldn't give them to the break. I might start making moves.
Yeah, we need to see. Yeah, something needs to give
weeks.
before
If guys start
July
to click,
1st.
If guys start to click, then you're good. But until then, if nobody clicks middle of June, you got to start making some moves with somebody.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree.
All right, let's stick in the NL East. Speaking of the Mets are currently 27-27 going into Monday. In their last 10, they're 6-4, but they didn't show out well. I think it was against the Rockies. They didn't play nearly as well against them as I thought they would. Like I said, the Rockies are not a good team.
No.
So are you panicking or are you having patience with the Mets, Brig?
I don't know. I don't know. The problem is there shouldn't be any holes.
Mm-hmm.
There just shouldn't be. But
I feel it's kind of the same thing, right? With the Phillies, where they've got too much talent to be this bad, to be a 500 team.
Yeah.
And it's like once guys start clicking, they'll be fine. And so maybe it's patience through the middle of June again. Kind of the same treatment you give the Phillies.
Yeah, but I'm panicking a little bit inside as a Mets fan.
Well, just because you've seen the song and dance before, right?
Right, exactly. I'm panicking because of talent, and I'm panicking on maybe some cohesion problems or whatever. But again, with the balanced schedule, I don't know, man. I'm worried. I'm not ready to hit the panic button, but I'm worried. We should go in between. Can I have an in-betweener on this one?
You get one in-betweener if you want this to be your
if
one
this is the... Let me look
it.
at the lineup. Is this the only in-between I want? Hold on. Yeah, this is the one I want. I know what I want to say about the rest of them.
Okay, it's your one in-betweener?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. You get one too, by the way.
All right, we'll see. No, I like I said, a couple more weeks of patience with the Mets just because of the talent. But it is weird because Buck Showalter did come out and he's like, I don't like Pete Alonso swearing on the field.
Right.
Okay.
And get off his lawn.
Yeah. I think it's funny he has issues with him swearing, but not his pelvic thrusting celebration.
Right?
apparently. So
Mm, that's a
it's
lewd,
odd,
crude, bad dude.
to say the least. All right,
Yeah.
on to the NL Central. We have one team in the NL. We got two. We got two teams
Yeah.
in the NL Central here. Here we go. Let's talk about the Cardinals.
Okay.
24-32. In their last 10, they're 5-5. Panic or patience with you, Brig?
Panic.
Long time ago, panicking
Panic.
with the
No.
Cardinals.
No, I'm panicked.
Yeah, definitely. I honestly think it's a managerial move is what
I was
solves
just
the
gonna say
problem there.
that. It's all about Marmal. The guy's gotta go.
He does. He's got to go for
Got
sure.
to go.
All right, and the other central team that we have is the Pirates, 26-27. In their last 10, they're
Mhm.
3-7.
That's bad.
That is bad. Are you having patience or are you panicking?
Patience, baby. Patience. I like what's going on there. It's okay to hit a bad streak of 10 games. No big deal. It's all right, man. Just ride this one out. You're gonna be all right.
I'm having patience, but for a different reason. My
Okay.
reason I'm having patience is because there were no expectations coming into this season. It's
For
like,
real.
nah, we had a really good start. Let's see if we can get some magic back in the bottle here in a couple weeks, going into the
Yeah.
All-Star break.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. We weren't
Listen,
supposed
they're
to win
only
the division, and the division's bad. The division's
bad.
bad.
Yeah. They're only 2 games behind. They're in second place. It's fine.
Boom.
It's
Exactly.
fine. Everything's fine.
And the Brewers
There's
have not been
nothing to
much better.
there's nothing to panic about. There's every reason to celebrate if you're in Pittsburgh. So
Yep,
hoist the flag, everybody.
that's right. Absolutely right. All right, let's go to the NL West. Over to the Padres, 24-29 overall, and in their last 10, they're 4-6. You are
Panicking.
big time, and so
Oh
are they
man.
because they brought in Gary Sanchez.
Yeah, this is oh man. They're not just hovering over the panic button. Somebody is sitting on it.
Yeah,
This
no
is
kidding.
they've got an intern hired just to sit on the panic button right now. I'm
Yes.
telling you.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like they're preaching patience. They're just like, oh yeah, we'll get it sorted
No.
out. We'll get it figured out. It'll be fine. We got a lot of talent here. Machado's on the IL. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. No, you've got so much talent that with Machado on the IL, you should still be winning 7 out of every 10 games.
Yep.
Like there is something going on there that ain't
Yep.
right.
It's not right. Bad news
Yeah.
bears,
So
I'm telling you.
yeah. Do you think they'll like if the Padres are not in the mix come trade deadline, right? End of July. Like if nothing looks like it's sorted out and headed in the right direction, do you think they'll start selling off guys?
Nope. No. They
They're
will
gonna
not.
hold. They're gonna hold
They're
on
gonna
to him till the
hold
bitter end.
they're gonna hold all their cards, bro, and they're gonna use this off season as a chance to run diagnostics. They're gonna go into spring training next year and figure it out, and then they'll decide by the All-Star break next season. But this one,
Okay.
they're gonna let this one fly if they need to.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's head over to the American League AL East. Got the Red Sox. 28-25 is not bad, but it is bad enough to be in 4th place in the AL East out of 5 for those of you keeping track at home.
No, they're fifth place. Aren't they in fifth place?
They're 4th. The Blue Jays are at the bottom by
Well,
half a
that
game.
must have just switched. That just changed then.
Oh, okay. All right, then that's
Yeah,
current as
okay.
of right now.
Whatever. Yeah. Okay. When I updated this, that was not the case, but now we're
Okay.
good.
All right. So you got the Red Sox in 4th place. They are 5-5 in their last 10. Are you having patience or are you panicking with the Red Sox?
Panicking. And I'll tell you why. It's because they are in the AL East. If they were anywhere else, it would be a total patient situation. But at the way things are going in the AL East, I don't care if you win 10 out of your last 10, they're still 9.5 games back, and they're not going to win 10 out of every 10. They just can't do it.
Right.
So I'm telling you, it's panic time. But they're not gonna panic. They're gonna hold their cards as well. They're gonna maybe make one sneaky little move at the deadline. It's gonna be an appeal to the fan base to show that they're trying, and it's gonna be a wash. I don't have any faith in Boston this year, and I really enjoy that because I'm a Yankees fan. But at the same time, like practically, like as a baseball fan, I'm not watching the Red Sox and wondering when they're going to break out and come for the third place or second place. So I'm just not worried about it.
Right. I feel the same way. I would be panicking for them as well if I was them
Yeah,
as well, because of everything you just said. They're in the AL East. They would be sitting half a game back in the AL Central,
totally.
which would be no problem at all. But in the AL East, it's uber competitive. But they're not necessarily going to do anything. Like, to this point, I feel like they've overachieved.
I think so. Yeah.
So,
If they
yeah.
maintain where they're at, if they can even end up in third place in the AL East, that will have been a
Mhm.
success on the season.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely
Mhm.
agree. Okay, how about the Blue Jays, who are, as of right now, sitting in last place at 28 and 26? Their last 10 is ugly, 3-7. Panic or patience, Brig?
Panic. I gotta go with panic.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
watch them against the Rays last week?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, they made them look foolish. Like,
Bro.
real bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
this was the thing. This was the thing that I like. One of my big takeaways with the way that the Rays just took it to the Blue Jays last week. And I know the Blue Jays put up 20 on them. A broken clock is right twice a day, right? Like, no big deal
Yeah, right.
as far as the Rays go. But one thing that they were doing is that they were stealing bases at will. They were stealing, the bases were stolen before the pitcher even moved to the plate. Especially Alek Manoah, they got to the point where they realized he was not checking the runner. So, like, say he's waiting till the pitch clock is at 3 to throw his pitch. They're gone with like 5 seconds left because they know he's not saying anything, or they
Yep.
know that he doesn't know. So they're already halfway to second base by the time the pitch is thrown. So they got some issues to fix out, and the fact that nobody said anything.
No, yeah.
That maybe nobody was calling runner to have him step off. I don't know. Managerial issues there. I don't know. It's odd. It's bad.
very
I
odd.
think things could potentially get a lot worse before they get better there.
Yeah,
So,
I can see that. I totally agree with you.
okay, the Mariners. Let's go. No, we're not going to
Ooh.
go to the Mariners yet. Let's go to the AL Central first.
Okay.
Cleveland's baseball team, 24 and
Cleveland's
29. In their last 10, they are 4-6. Are you panicking or are you having patience?
Patience.
Tell me why.
Tito.
There you go.
I know I keep giving it back to Tito, but I really do have all the faith in the world in that guy. They're only 3.5 games back in their division. They're in third place. It's the easy division. And if the Tigers can be ahead of you right now, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're right there.
That's
So
just how I feel.
I am gonna say panic right now.
Oh.
And the reason I say panic has nothing to do with the division, has nothing to do with the record necessarily. It's because of that minus 33 run differential. That is a problem because they don't score runs. I mean, I understand you can have great pitching. You got Bieber and you got McKenzie, right? Like you've got really good pitchers on that team. But I've seen it in Seattle. It doesn't matter how good your pitching is if you can't score runs. You're going to lose 1-0, 2-0 games a ton. It's going to happen. And you've got to figure out a way to score runs. Like, and I understand last year, like, oh, well, we don't hit home runs. We just manufacture runs. Okay, but you cannot, then today's game, you cannot rely solely on manufacturing runs. You've got to be able to hit the long ball to some degree to win because your opponent can hit the long ball and put up a bunch of runs in a hurry. And then you're going to be in trouble no matter how good your pitching is.
Yep.
Because your pitching can't score runs. That's the difference with baseball, is that defense cannot convert points.
It's true.
And by that, I mean runs, obviously.
Right. But yeah.
Because in basketball, your defense can turn into a fast break. Football, defense can literally score points, but it does not happen in baseball. So you've got to have offense. You've got to be able to hit home runs in today's game. And the Guardians don't do that. That's why I've got to say panic. They've got to make a move. They've got to bring in a big bat, somebody who can hit home runs. Even if they have one guy who it's like, okay, every other game he's going to give, or every few games he's going to give us one to keep us in it. You got to have it.
Is there anybody in the transaction DFA cycle that we went through you think they could bring on as a DH guy for that role specifically, or to give Josh Naylor a spell at first base here and there for switching it out?
Maybe Luke Voigt. I could see Tito keeping him in line, right?
I could. Yeah.
Might be good for him.
That's what I was just thinking.
And I think that he's kind of a player's manager where he might be able to just be like, you know what, just go out and do your thing, right?
Totally.
Might be able
Oh
to help
yeah,
you find a good spot mentally. Maybe Luke Voigt's the guy. I don't know.
that'd be cool. I'd like to see that for Luke. Actually, that'd be really neat.
All right, should we head over to the West now?
We have to.
Okay, Mariners 28 and 25. In their last 10, 7 and 3. The A's certainly helped at that number. I will tell you that right now. 4 games against Oakland in
Yeah.
that mix. Are you having panic or are you having patience?
I'm gonna say patience, but I got about 3 minutes until I'm gonna hit that middle of the road worry button again. I think that when their team is healthy and clicking, that's the problem. They have to be healthy and clicking. Then things are okay. They're not great, but they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they need things to be great right now. They just need things to be okay. If they ended the season in second place, it might be enough.
Yeah, probably.
So for that reason, I'm going to say patience. The problem is clicking is harder than healthy, and there are things you can do actively and aggressively to get healthy. There's not a lot you can do to get everybody clicking and on the same page all the time. That's the hard part.
Yeah. So if you had talked to me last week, if you'd asked me this last week, I would have said worried.
Right.
But in this last week, a lot of guys have gotten right. Julio
Yeah.
Rodriguez is looking like himself again, finally.
Yeah.
Right? Slow starter. Teoscar Hernandez is not swinging quite so much out of the zone, not chasing quite so much, not as bad. The issue, I think, in Seattle right now is Colton Wong, oddly enough. Like, I was really excited they brought him on because he's a gold glover. Really solid bat. Haven't gotten anything out of him at all.
Yeah.
And so I worry about a disgruntled veteran in that clubhouse.
Mm.
He's my worry, right? That I keep just being like, you know what, it's time to cut bait. You gotta move him. You gotta get rid of him. $10 million for the year, like eat it if that's what it takes. Because I bet you get that guy out of the locker room and things turn around. Because I'm gonna go to basketball here for just a second. In Portland, you would see the Trailblazers. One of the problems they had, and this happened twice in my lifetime that I know of. They brought in veterans to be leadership, but those veterans got sick of being on a team that wasn't living up to expectation, whether it was because of talent or just because there wasn't the cohesion. But what those guys did, well, this came out in an article at one point, was they'd go to the younger guys and they'd be like, look, you don't get the playing time you deserve here. They're not treating you right. Whether they were or they weren't was neither
They're
here nor
poisoning
there.
the water hole.
They were poisoning the water hole, exactly right. And I worry a little bit about a disgruntled Colton Wong. I don't know anything about him personally, right? Like whether that is something he would or wouldn't do. But I heard about guys in Portland who I didn't think would do that, who did just that thing.
Right.
So anybody could do it. Anybody could get disgruntled and could go to a Taylor Trammell like, man, you need to get your reps. You should be getting your reps. You should be out there DHing every single day. That's why you're not hitting. Right? Like, that's your job. They should be giving you that job. Like, Pollock's not doing it. That's a Taylor Trammell job right there. And then he's like, yeah, you're right. You're right. I should be DHing every day. And then he goes out there. He gets a chance once a week to hit. He doesn't. And he's like, golly, I just need my reps. And he's disgruntled. And then it spreads throughout the clubhouse. Because that's the problem. That's what it feels like is going on in Seattle, is that there's a little bit of poison in the well. And it could be spreading because things don't look the way they should or don't look the way they did last year. And which is odd to say, but got a couple guys coming back who I think will really help with that situation. I think there's about to be a resolution to the Colton Wong issue soon because Dylan Moore's coming back. But anyway, that's a long-winded answer of saying I'm having patience with the Mariners.
It's your baby. It's okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's been so crazy to watch this team this year so far. It's like, what's going on? What's the problem? But no, patience with the Mariners for now.